From Careco TV, one of the longest-running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventure. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. Welcome to this week's show. From the Running V Ranch in deep South Texas, we're in the field with Cabela's Mark Nelson and Wade Middleton.
Well, we're at the Running V Ranch near Cuero, Texas. This is my first time on this particular ranch, and actually my first time in this part of Texas. We're southeast of San Antonio, and for me, kind of neat to be in this rolling hill country. A lot of creek bottoms, a lot of live oaks, a lot of mesquite, a lot of rolling terrain. So it's a really interesting part of Texas, and really a cool place to be. We hadn't been sitting very long when the first deer that comes out is a deer coming from the left, just out cruising. And of course it's a buck, and of course it's a monster buck. One of the biggest whitetails I've ever seen in my life. Actually a younger deer, probably a 4-year-old deer, probably 170, 180 inch class buck comes out, and of course my jaw drops, but it's a young deer. It's not a deer that we're here to hunt. But still, what a privilege to see an animal like that, and that's the first deer that came out on my first hunt down here on this ranch.
Now, as the sun sets on their first hunt, Mark and Wade make plans for the morning. They'll return back to this field before sunup to try it again from the Running V Ranch.
Amazing first afternoon, evening hunt here in Texas. What a great first set. Very cool. Got to see probably the biggest whitetail buck I've ever seen in my life, for more than a fleeting glimpse ever. Probably more than an hour of a just big breeding age buck come out. One of those off-limits bucks, just based on the fact of his age and his size, but monster buck, 170 class buck. And then real late, right at the end of light, another really cool looking deer came out that was pretty narrow, but looked like it had amazing mass. And again, it was a young deer. So you can just see the genetics on this ranch are pretty incredible. So didn't see the right buck tonight, but it was one heck of a great first afternoon, and I'm pretty excited for the morning hunt.
Coming up, Cabela's Mark Nelson gets his chance at a big Texas whitetail. Cabela's Deer Nation. If you live and breathe for big whitetails, then this webcast is for you. Watch hunts from some of the country's premier destinations. You can catch it online only at Cabela's.com. We'll be right back with more from our hunt on Americana Outdoors.